I'm so excited. Oh. Hey guys, it's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. So first off, I feel like I am a teenager who is coming home late past her curfew, sneaking in the living room, being like, and y'all are just like the parent in the living room with the light on, like, click. Where have you been? I know, I took a little break. It was much needed, a little creative break, but I am back. I am back and I have stories to tell of my absence. And this is one of them. You can tell by the title, it says, worst travel story ever. That's a working title, who knows? It might end up being something different. But this is a story about how AMTRAK had me messed up. Had me messed up, y'all. Let's get started. Let's just get started. Does it look odd? I had to take away that lamp. That lamp was just, it was just big and intrusive and like really in my way. I'm still trying to figure out my background, y'all. It's been a while. You were like, girl, you've been gone for 3 months and you haven't figured out your background yet. I can't. I had some IKEA troubles. Anyway, we're gonna get into the story. And I got oddly thirsty, so this is water. Let's jump right into it. So let me just like set the stage for this story first of all. So I was making my way to go visit my family in Massachusetts. I have family that lives in Cape Cod. So normally when I go to Cape Cod, I will fly there. And any tips here? Hey, here's some tips you didn't know you were getting. If you're flying to Cape Cod, you don't just like fly to Cape Cod. You usually fly into either Boston or Providence, rent a car and drive down there, and or take the bus. Sometimes that's an option as well. This was a last minute trip, so flights were like a little bit expensive. So I was like, maybe I will take an overnight train on the way up and then I'll fly back from Providence. Easy peasy, no big deal. I've rented a car from the Providence airport like so many times. It's like super easy. It's only about an hour and a half from both Boston and Providence to Cape Cod, but it's so much easier to go to Providence. Like, just trust me on that one. So I booked an AMTRAK train that left on a Friday at 10 p.m. and I was supposed to arrive in Providence, Rhode Island at 7-ish a.m. the next morning, Saturday morning. I figured I would just get on the train after working, you know, a full day and just go to sleep. Wake up at like, you know, we're about to get there at like 6. Wake up, go and get my car from Enterprise, which I think my reservation was at 8 a.m. So, setting the stage. It's Friday, I get to Union Station. It was like raining, by the way, so I was like soaking wet by the time I got outside of my Uber. And there was a lot of people going to the Union Station at the time, so I had to like get out before the get out point and like run across the street with my bags and like go all the way inside. So like by the time I'm inside, I'm just like, all right, like this is cool. Like I'm soaking wet because it was downpour, like rain. So I go into the bathroom and I'm thinking like, oh, I'll just like, I had like a hoodie on. No, what did I have? No, I did. I actually showed this 2-piece that I have that I travel with in my airport lookbook. It's like the gray, like South Pole, like toothpiece. So I had the top. The top was like the most wet because I didn't have a jacket on like whatsoever. It was just that. So I was like, I'll just go into the bathroom and use one of those hand dryers. Like I'll just put it underneath the hand dryer. And then I was like, oh, okay. So I get into the bathroom and it's not like a normal like press the button like hand dryer. It's one of those like fancy Dyson ones where you like put your hands in and you like pull it out like all slow and like the water just like drips off. So I was like, good on Union Station for being like technologically advanced in 2017. 2018. This happened a couple months ago. So I'm like doing this like crazy. I'm like take off my hoodie and I'm like putting my hand in the Dyson to like activate it, but like also putting like a little bit of the pieces of the hoodie because I was like, I can't sit on a train in these wet clothes. And I already had all my stuff in my bag and it just wasn't gonna work out. Like I was like, I have to go with this. This is my planned outfit. And I had like a throw blanket, I had my neck pillow. Like I was so ready for slumber, let me tell you. So the train gets a little bit delayed. It's now, let's say like 10:20 at night. Finally get on the train, I sit down and I was thinking like, you know, hopefully I just won't get sat next to anybody. So I put myself in a seat and I figured if anything, like, you know, I was like praying, like, let it just be, you know, somebody nice and not like, you know, somebody rude and like coming on the bus or someone who stinks, I don't know, just whatever. So I sit down, I get totally comfortable. I have my Kindle. I even downloaded movies on my Kindle. I think I was watching like Medea Halloween or something. So I'm like the picture of comfort. Like I have my little tray down, my Kindle sitting on top of it. I have my movie. I brought some snacks. I had already eaten dinner, so I was full. I'm comfortable in my throw. Like I am just like picturesque, like AMTRAK vibe situation. So we go a couple stops because from Union Station to about when you get to Baltimore, there's a couple stops in between there. And I was like, I got lucky, like nobody was sitting next to me, everything was cool. And then probably around like Baltimore is where a girl came and sat next to me, and I was like, like this is like perfect. Young black girl. I was like, we can vibe, like we can chat, whatever. I'm clearly looking like I'm about to sleep. Like I have a like eye pillow on my forehead, like ready to just like when I'm ready to go to bed. But I figured like best case scenario is like somebody young and like clean and just nice and like regular and just whatever. So I was like, best case scenario, perfect. So we like chat for like just a second, and she like asked me to use like the plug because the plug is on this side, and I'm like, cool, that's fine. So I go to sleep around 11:30 p.m. We're rolling the train. Let me tell you, this is why Amtrak be getting in accidents, because the trains go so fast, like uncomfortably fast. And mind you, like I mentioned earlier in the story, it's raining, and I'm just like, I get it, you know, trains can handle this kind of thing, but I was like uncomfortably fast for me. So I was like, Lord, just keep us safe, keep us good, and let us make it there. So I fall asleep. Everything's cool. I mean, I'm knocked, like all the way knocked, just sleep, like slumber, like just so gone. I'm warm. I can like literally feel the train, like turning the heat on. Everything was just great. Knocked out sleep. And this is where everything goes left. You know, like right when everything's like good and cute and nice, and you're like, I'm comfortable, everything's nice. No. This is where things go left. So, girl sitting next to me, I'll just refer to her as D, because I don't want to put her full name out there if she don't want to be involved in this story. Who knows? Some people don't have their lives online. So we'll just call her D. So D kindly taps me on my shoulder. I'm confused because I'm just like mid-sleep and I kind of forgot where I was, and it's like now 2 o'clock in the morning. And she's like, we have to get off the train. And I'm like, who does? She's like, they're offloading us. We have to get off the train. And I'm like, are they changing like trains? Are we changing the engine? Like why? And what time? Where are we? She's like, I think we're in New Jersey. I fell asleep too, but I think we're in New Jersey and we have to get off this train. And I was like, oh, okay, all right. So I like have to really I'm like pajama mode. I'm asleep. I created a bedroom within my seat. I have to like put my shoes on because I have slippers. I gotta like get my life because I'm just, you know, eye boogers and things are just happening. And like the lights are on, like it's like go time. Like we gotta get off of this train. So I was like, all right, gather all of my things. And I kind of like look at her with this look like, help. Like, what are we about to do? Like, we're stranded in New Jersey. So she's like, do you want to stick together? And I'm like, yes, I do. Like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. We are somewhere in New Jersey and we're getting off this train. So like literally this whole train is offloading, and there's all kinds of people in here, like all kinds of demographics. Like there's families, there's like younger people like us, there's mom, like single moms with like children and strollers. Like it is just like, you're offloading like a whole community of people that are trying to obviously get somewhere. So they were making announcements on the train as we were leaving, but for whatever reason, the speakers were so muffled that you really couldn't understand what they were saying, but we like heard from somebody who heard from somebody, because you know when like something is going wrong, people really come together. It'll show you humanity real quick, especially when everyone's just like dazed and confused. So basically what we got, the whole message was that we're supposed to get off the train and there was going to be buses that would take us to Penn Station in New York. And that's when we could just hop on the train and then we would continue on to our destination, which is in Providence. Going from New Jersey to Providence, I don't even know how many hours it is, but we sure weren't anywhere close. If it's 2 in the morning and we're supposed to get there, it's at least another 5 hours. So I'm like, all right, like let's just find these buses and then get on there. And I'm so glad that like D wants to stick together because this is like crazy. So we all walk out and like, it's just like desolate. Where the train stopped at was like an outside part of the station. So we're like, we need to get inside. So people are trying to get into elevators. People are trying to find the stairs. The stairs, for whatever reason, were like locked, like had like cages locked in front of them because it's just like nighttime. So by the time we kind of like get into the station, everything is just closed. It is so quiet. It is like Walking Dead quiet. There are nothing but like homeless people there and the police. So we're like, hey, nice popo. Can you direct us to the bus station? Because we just came off of this AMTRAK train that got offloaded and we need to get to Penn Station. And they said there'd be a bus provided for us to do that. And I can even tell you there had to have been 200 people. Like easily. And we're all in these little clusters, like everyone's like teamed up now, like we all have our crew, like me and D have now collected like 3 other women that were all traveling alone, and we're just like in this little crew. So the cops are like clueless because they're not like AMTRAK police officers, they're just New Jersey metro station cops, and they have no idea, well, no record, no clue what we're talking about with these buses. And they're like, buses don't run at this time. And okay, so we're like, where's like the AMTRAK concierge desk? And they're like, it's down this hallway, but you're not gonna find anybody there. Literally every single business in this little train station, like little, you know, like 7-Eleven-ish type convenience stores and like random like food huts, like they're all closed up, like gated up, like it's going on 3 o'clock now in the morning. That's how long it took us to get like down into the actual station itself and like figure out what the heck was going on. So like their best bet, this is what the cops are telling us, like your best bet is to get on the next train that comes through like the metro rail of New Jersey and take that because it comes at 3:30. And we're like, okay, that's in like 30 minutes, but like what about metro passes? Like we just got let off this train, like we shouldn't have to pay for the bus, or excuse me, we shouldn't have to pay for the metro. And they're like, just tell, you know, the other officer upstairs, we've already radioed him, like clearly, because there's like 200 people that are just stranded and left, and clearly like we do not belong there because we don't, we belong somewhere else. So they're like, they'll let you through the gate and it's fine. So me and D and like 3 other women stick together. I felt so bad because there was one lady who had a child in her stroller and she just was like so distraught and like could not. But we got to a point where it was like every man for himself. We got to get upstairs. So we dipped away from her. Hopefully she figured that part out. We run upstairs and we go through the gates and we just like wait. Just like 30 some minutes to kill of just like waiting in this station. And I don't do smells, and it just smelt like a New Jersey station at 3 a.m. I mean, I don't want to put it just because it's New Jersey, but things don't smell nice at 3 a.m. So the metro train comes. This is like metro, like the commuter place. So this is where all the locals are. They commute from here to New York probably all the time. We get on there about like 3:35, and it just looks, once again, smells, and the type of environment that it was created was just a 3 a.m. environment. Mind you, this is Friday night, Saturday morning at 3 a.m. So it is just like drunk people and just all kinds of things. By this time, all the other people, like I can't remember the exact train number. It was like 684 or something. Like by that time, like we just knew who each other were because we were just all like, just like looking with our bags, and we're like tired and like no longer friendly, just like trying to keep it together. So there's 4 ladies with us now, me, D, and like 2 other women, and we're just like all sitting next to each other, like really banding together, like forget this, like we ain't getting got, we're gonna stick together. So the plan from here is to take this 25-minute ride from whatever train station that was in New Jersey, or metro station, to World Trade Center station in New York. From World Trade Center station, we are supposed to get a free metro card that will take us to Penn Station, and that's where we can continue our train ride. Yes, this is happening, and this is at almost 4 o'clock in the morning. So I don't even know. I think at this point I kind of like just dazed and was delirious. But what I knew let me tell you what I knew I wasn't doing. When I got to World Trade Center Station, I was not getting on the subway. I have ridden the New York subway plenty of times. My husband's family is from there. We have done that. I will pay any price for an Uber than take this subway. It is already like, it just takes too long and it's too like unpredictable for me. Even during the day, I was like, I am not messing with this New York subway at nobody's 4 o'clock in the morning. So I told Dee and I told the other ladies, I said, listen, if you guys want to Uber with me, we can Uber together because you ain't catching Kelly underneath the ground at this time of night in New York in the morning. It's just not happening. So they're like, yeah, like we'll see, we'll figure out when we get there. And I was like, cool. I will be in Uber regardless, and I will go by myself. So we finally get to World Trade Center Station, which is beautiful, by the way. I was like joking with my husband that it's kind of like Hunger Games, like the Capitol though, like just super nice. It's like white marble and white walls and like beautiful lighting and like LED screen advertisements. They had a Gucci pop-up store, clearly closed because it was 4 in the morning, but they had a Gucci like pop-up in the middle, like in the lobby-ish area of this place. It's so nice. So we get there, finally something is confirmed, like some kind of intel is correct. They are passing out all the cards for us to get onto the subway. I take a card anyway because I was like, worst case scenario, I'll have like a card with $4 on it. So I take it, we get out of the line, and I'm like, hey ladies, this is where we part, or this is where you come together, what you gonna do? And they were like, no, we're coming with you. So the 4 of us, was it 4 of us? Yes, there was 4 of us at that time. We make our way out of World Trade Center Station, which was hilarious because there's like all these different levels and like escalators you have to take, but they have all these doors that are closed. It's like, I guess, you know, security at that time of night, they don't have all the entrances open. So it's like, we're like trying all these magical doors, like trying to get out. And we're like, how do we get to New York City? How do we get outside of this bubble that we are in? Finally get out onto the ground levels, kind of see where we are. We're not that far. We're like a good 10-minute ride to Penn Station. And I'm like, perfect. I'll get the Uber. We can, I don't care. I'll pay for it. We can split it. We can Venmo, like doesn't really matter. So I pick up my phone. I put in our location and we ended up standing in front of like some hotel, like Millennium Hotel or something. So I put in our current location. I put in our destination and I will show you guys. I will show you like what popped up on my screen. I will put it right here. This is what shows up when I'm sitting, like I'm just trying to get an Uber. At this point, after this adventure that I had, I was like done for. I was like, what is Uber trying to do sending me to Texas? What? I'm trying to get to Penn Station in New York. So my phone was just not working. One of the other ladies was like, forget it. Like, forget it. Like, we're doing Lyft. We're doing like any other service. Like, forget you Uber. Like, y'all don't know what we've been through. So somebody else calls it. We just like Venmo her the money. We make our way to Penn Station. Now, y'all know how this story's been going, right? Have y'all been paying attention to how wonderful this story, how this story's been going? So do you think that there was a train there waiting for us at Penn Station when we got there? We got out of the Uber. We walk into Penn Station. Same vibes as the station when we were in New Jersey, except like 100% worse. This was like a shelter. It was like the stranded AMTRAK customer service, just shelter. There are people everywhere, like families. Like if you've ever been in an airport where like flights were delayed or canceled, this is what it looked like. I was like, there's no trains leaving from this station, are there? Because this is insane. They're just like people, families just laying on the floor, got their little pillows like bundled up and like laying on just the ground. I was like, this is too much. I can't take this. So once again, we find some popo because there are no kiosks open for any of the bus, state, train, nothing. Nobody's there for us. Amtrak, you stranded us. So we're talking to NYPD, who is like super nice, and they're like, listen, ladies, like it's 4:10-ish at this point. Listen, ladies, like nothing's leaving this station till at least 8:30. I was like, you know what? I'm a child of God. Because I could have lost my whole mind. It was like nobody's fault. It was just something crazy. So I guess at Penn Station, they had some kind of like, I don't know, like some frozen wires or something that like fell on top of it, and they just had to fix it, and they just didn't know. That was them like just being nice and giving us an estimate. Like, who knows at 8:30, 4 hours from now, AM, like if anything's leaving the station, like who knows? And then you have like all these people, like 70, 80 people, which I'm sure are gonna turn into hundreds of people because other people, like, it's now 4 a.m. Like, I'm sure there was a proposed train at 5, 6, 7, 8. Like, you have so many people that are on their way here that don't know what they're getting themselves into. Hopefully the AMTRAK was nice enough and like sent them an email saying like, hey, don't come here because nothing's happening. So I'm like, Lord, and this is why you guys gotta pray. You just gotta be prayed up, stay prayed up, because I was like, Lord, I need to get there. Like, I need to get to Providence. I need to get somewhere. So me, the ladies, when we lost the lady, there's my 3 of us now. So me, Dee, and like one other lady were like, what the heck? And we're all trying to get to Boston. This is what's happening. This is like what's fun about this. Because at this point, we're all just trying to get anywhere. I was like, I will get to Boston. So we're on our phones and we're like looking and looking and looking. And there is a mega bus, which is about 4 minutes like from where we are. And when I tell you, I have never in my life, and this is another benefit of like memorizing your debit card number. I know like that's like kind of ridiculous, but I don't know what it is. That's just one of the numbers I can just remember. I always do that. I probably online shop too much, but who's asking? Anyway, back to the story. So when I tell you, we whipped out those phones, we're like, there's a mega bus, it's leaving at 4:55, like we can get over there, because by this time it's like 4:35, like 4:45, like we are like cutting it super close. And I was like, there's a couple seats left, like just buy them. So we all bought the same mega bus. We run out, say goodbye to that 4th lady, and we're like, oh my gosh, like, oh, we've like connected, this is crazy. Run out of the station, flag down a taxi, and we're like, get us to the bus station. Well, it's not really a bus station, because if you've taken the bus, I don't even know what, it's like a cross street, like 34th Street and something else. It's like this really heavy cross street, but it's literally just like the buses parallel park up and down like this one road. There's no like station. There's like food vendors out there, thank goodness they were open. Like, y'all are the realest. That's some New York stuff right there, because they were definitely open. I don't know what I grabbed, but I got some kind of food from the vendor, which was great. So we get on this bus. Guys, I had to get on a bus. I was like, what is happening? I am flying forever. So we get on a bus, and it's about a 5.5 hour drive from New York to Boston. If you recall the details of my story earlier, as I mentioned, I'm supposed to be going to Providence, Rhode Island, not Boston. That is where my car is, my rent-a-car. That's where my registration is, or my reservation, I should say, for my car. And it's also supposed to be at 8 a.m. I'm not gonna get there by 8 a.m. So on this bus, man, when the human body is tired, the human body is tired. I swear to you, I was like sleeping like this. I just had my stuff. I don't even know. What did I have? I just had one carry-on and like a backpack. So the backpack was with me. The carry-on went down in like the bottom of the bus. Thank goodness. But whoo, y'all, I was knocked in the most uncomfortable way. Like the kind of sleep that is like your neck is just stiff and you're like, you can't feel your arms and you probably have to get them amputated because they're just never coming back to life. Like that is what kind of sleep I was having. Finally, we get to Boston. It is like a whole new day. Like the sun is out now. Like, cause just picture all this story pitch black because it's nighttime. Like it's pitch black. So now it's like daytime, like full on day. And we're like, haven't slept, like have not slept. And that Friday I went to work. Like I worked a full day, came home, did some like cleaning up, had dinner, and then got on the bus. Like that was supposed to be my rest. Like I had not slept since the night before. Like not Friday night because I didn't sleep, but I had 3 hours. I had about 3 hours of solid sleep. I would say 2 comfortably, but at least I had that. So it's like daytime now. We get to Boston, and like this is where we all have to go our separate ways. It was like such like a sisterhood of the traveling pants like type moment. We're just like, all right, like we survived. Giving like hugs and stuff. I said bye to Dee. I said bye to the other woman, and we just split our ways. So now I'm trying to figure out what the heck to do because I'm like, deliriously tired, like hungry, and I'm like, can I drive? And I had some friends in Boston, and I was thinking like maybe I should call them. I know my grandparents will come and pick me up if like need be. I was like, can I drive? Like I kind of felt like I was like drunk almost because I was just so freaking tired. So I call Enterprise and I'm like, hey, this is my situation. Like I have a rental. I'm in Boston. I'm not in Providence. I need help. So the lady on the phone was like super nice. Shout out to her at Enterprise. And she's like, listen, there is one car. When I tell you how good the Lord is, there was one car available at that time in all of Boston. All of the Enterprises that they had. And I didn't want to like rent another car because I already spent, you know, $100 and some. I'm like, oh, I don't want to cancel it and then have to do another one, like whatever, but I would if I had to. But Enterprise is where it's at. So I get an Uber, I take an Uber to the Enterprise, and I'm just like, like I made it. Like y'all don't even know. And there was like these super nice old people that were in there, and they're like, oh sweetheart, like you just look like you've been going through it. And I'm like, cause I have not slept. So I got my car, which ended up being a Dodge Caravan, a humongous Dodge Caravan. I am more of a compact car type driver. Dodge Caravan, I was like, I'll take it. I'll take it. So she gives me the car and I'm like, oh, thank you, I'm starving. I go to a Dunkin' Donuts, and like Dunkin' Donuts is like the realness in Boston. Like that's where like true Dunkin' is. So I had a bomb ass sandwich, and then I had some coffee, I think, because by that time I needed a sister needed some brown sugar cold brew. It was not a game. So I get into my car, and from Boston, it's about an hour-and-a-half drive. It took me a little bit more than that because it's Saturday morning now. By this time it was, I don't even know. By this time it had to be like 10 or 11 in the morning. By the time I like really was able to like work it out, because I was on the phone with Enterprise for like a good solid minute because she was searching every location for me, which was really great, but it's late. Finally do my little hour-and-a-half drive and make it to my grandparents' house, and I knocked out cold. Just knocked out cold. I'm a survivor, y'all. I survived. All right, y'all, we made it. That was my worst travel story. AMTRAK abandoned me in New Jersey when I was supposed to get to Providence the next day. Will I ride AMTRAK again? I don't know. It's a little too early. It's a little too soon. The wounds are still fresh from that trip. I've had really great travels. Like I've been super blessed with that, you guys. Like I don't have like crazy stories like this usually. This was like a super one-off. I do have one more crazy story, but that was like self-inflicted, like in a group. Like we just knew what we were getting ourselves into, but maybe I'll turn that into a video. I'm not really sure. I might. It's funny, and it involved international travels. It's when we were in the UK trying to make our way to Amsterdam. The parties involved know exactly what I'm talking about. A mess. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this travel story. If you guys have any hilarious stories, please feel free to comment them down below. I would love to hear how you got screwed over by some kind of transportation company, because AMTRAK had me messed up. That might be the title of this. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm just glad to be back, and more content will definitely be coming. If you guys have anything super specific that you guys want to see, also definitely comment that. If you have not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I would appreciate it so much. Thank you for everyone who like stuck around while I took a creative break. I will see you guys next time in my next video. Bye.